Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again. I hope you're doing great. Today I have a little surprise for you. We're looking at this amazing helicopter. We're looking at the UH-1H UE. It was developed by the US Army in '55 and is one of the most iconic helicopters in US Army history. It was, there's about 7,000 of them that was used in the Vietnam War. So any gamer really kind of knows the general look of this helicopter. Now, this add-on that we're gonna look at is free, okay? It is available on FlightSim.to. I'll leave the link in the description. However, it was made by Taog Hangars. He's been working on helicopters for a while now, and he's released recently the Llama and the Alouette. Okay, both are great paid add-ons. Well, some of the best helicopters I would say out there right now for MSFS. However, this project was kind of I'm gonna assume it was abandoned. Okay, there hasn't been updates in more than a year. The last update was in June 2022, so it's not even compatible with the new helicopter physics that was introduced. So we still rely on the AirlandFS. But don't let that put you off, because honestly, if you're a fan of this helicopter, you'll get past all that, still install it and have great fun. So we'll take a look at inside. So here's the cockpit. It looks okay, alright? It's not super high quality like other add-ons, but it looks a lot better than the earlier versions of this helicopter. Update 1.4, which was the last one that was made, introduced this new interior and introduced some search and rescue textures that were provided by Mr. Kever, if I'm not mistaken. We can load a bunch of different stuff, and everything that you can load in the aircraft is weight based, so you need to add at least, I believe, 10 kilos to load it up. So you can do it by this, see? Medical equipment, passenger medic, and you can add the patient as well. There he is, all loaded in. So if you want to do any medevac operations and stuff like that, which the helicopter was designed to do anyways, you can. On top of that, you can add gunners. There you go. But it's a bit weird to have gunners without guns, so let's put the guns as well. There you go. Really gives you that Vietnam vibe, alright. And speaking of Vietnam, you can also add the Vietnam era soldiers, as long as you put, I believe it's 100 kilos. There they are. Okay, so you can do some recreational stuff if you really want to. Sweet. So that's the most of the stuff that you can load in. Another disclaimer: to start up the aircraft, it's really simple, and unfortunately most of the buttons don't really work. Okay, the ones you need to get to work, but it would have been nice if more effort was put into this aircraft. I'm assuming that Taog was planning on making this a payware, so he was kind of working on it on the background, and hopefully maybe he'll surprise us one day and release one. Because there's a lot of stuff missing from this, okay? But it was getting better when the updates were rolling, but then they stopped. And now we have this, which I still consider, which is kind of weird because there's a lot of good detailed helicopters, but the feeling of flying this Huey is no match to any other that I've flown. So even though, the buttons, most of the buttons don't work, I still look over that, and I prefer to have a good feeling helicopter instead. Anyways, let's get to starting this thing. So go over to the overhead panel, hit the battery switch, the fuel to on, the avionics is kicking in. Sometimes the transponder doesn't work, I don't know why, it just doesn't. Okay, we'll go ahead and remove the guns so I can close the doors. We'll keep them open. Yeah, we can keep them open. Why not? We'll keep the doors open. Go ahead and over to the overhead again. Navigational lights. DC power switch on. And we'll hold the starter until the engines pulls up. we go. There we go. Slow and steady. This looks good, man. Looks good and feels good. Look at that. So even though the helicopter is not compatible with the helicopter update or MSFS, the trim seems to work. Like I am able to trim the helicopter just fine. And after it's trimmed, it's pretty smooth. What I think makes this one fly better than the majority of the other helicopters is the fact that it feels heavy. First of all, AirlandFS really helps with this, is that the after you get to the transitional speed and you get going, like you really don't need those pedals and you really feel like there's weight to it. On top of that, the helicopter itself feels heavy. Right? It takes a while to get your inputs across. It doesn't feel twitchy, and honestly, helicopters might feel twitchy in real life, but in the simulator I don't want them to. I want them to feel heavy, and this one is just perfect. It really feels nice. Landing this thing is not too hard either, because of the whole weight of it. Kind of keeps the inertia going. It's really hard to describe these things without you trying it out yourself. So if you're into historic helicopters, if you're into the Huey, even though you know most of the stuff doesn't work, yeah, no, but just give it a try. I'm sure you won't regret it, because I was kind of skeptical about trying it out, because I usually enjoy, you know, everything working in the cockpit as real as it gets. I'm really into that sort of stuff, but after I got to experience the way the helicopter feels, it kind of changed me a bit. So I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for other potentially good add-ons in the future, because I was going to miss out on this one. I really hope that Taog puts in the effort to either make a pay-aware Huey or just update this one. I'd gladly pay for this. Like, if the buttons in the cockpit were updated, the textures were updated, I'd gladly pay for this if it flies the same way. It's incredibly good. It feels really heavy and it feels so nice. And I used to fly DCS as well. I can't compare this to DCS, of course. I mean, the Huey there is one of the most spectacular helicopters I've ever flown. Not even X-Plane 11 can match that. The DCS Huey is phenomenal, okay? But this is not too bad. Like, I don't want to compare it to the DCS because there's no comparison, but it's not too bad. The Arma 3 Huey was worse than this thing, and I still loved it. Back when I was playing, you know, Daisy mod in Arma 2, and repairing a Huey was like a pretty good big thing. I was having a lot of fun, and with this one, I've been having a lot of fun too. I've been doing a couple of tours on Iveo, been flying it just for fun. We're not right now flying in Vietnam just because we can. I mean, it just works. It just really works. So we'll come around and just land back at the airport, and we'll wrap this one up. If you're enjoying the content so far, don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff that helps out the channel. You know how it is. So yeah, every bit of effort kinda helps out on this side. God, flying this thing puts a smile on my face. I don't really know why. It's just so nostalgic, so good. Yeah, I kinda wanna put it down here. So we'll do an orbit while descending. Yeah. Vietnam style. Doo doo. Doo doo. I only was a good helicopter pilot. Oh boy. That's good enough for me. Put her down gently. Whoa. There we go. That's gentle, I guess. I really hope you enjoyed this little bit we spent together. If you've flown the Huey before, you like it, just let me know in the comment section below. Till the next one, safe flights to everyone. See ya!